to be using the self-defense cane. This is self-defense cane training, how to self-defense cane techniques. So how to do techniques to defend yourself using your standard walking cane, or it can be a custom-made Cane Masters self-defense cane. These are very inexpensive. There's a link below. If you want to see that, that's the first place to go and take a look. Cane Masters makes the best. But let's get started. Start with your palm up. You're gonna have your hand in the crook. This is a little bit wider crook than the store crook, but you can also use a store-bought medical cane. They work just the same. You just have to kind of turn your hand if the crook isn't as wide. But with this wider crook, palm up, facing the sky, the long side comes out of your thumb, and you're gonna move it forward in this turning or cranking motion. It's very small and subtle. Your hand is mostly closed, and you're doing this to start to get your heart rate up. You want to condition your body to last in the fight. We're going to go for conditioning heart and lungs. Rich is here, Sand's here. We're going around and around, stomach up and in, abs tight. Magnus is here. Magnus from Sweden. You're going around and around for about 30 seconds. You're going to feel it heat up your hand a little bit, and then you're going to go across the body and back. Now we're going to add to this spin today if you've been doing it for a while. If you're just getting started out, just do the parts that you can do. Don't worry about where you start, just get started. Across and back, it's kind of like a slap across the face, backhand coming back the other way. Your hand is mostly closed, you're not squeezing. It's going to move through your hand just a little bit. But go slowly, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. That means allow yourself time, give yourself grace. You're gonna get it when you don't quit. After doing this for 30 seconds, the third one you're going to add if you're not just starting out, or you can try it, doesn't matter. Bring it to the opposite side of the body. This is my left hand. I'm gonna turn my palm up, and I'm gonna allow my thumb to stay behind the crook still, behind the cane. See how my thumb is turning here? And then I'm gonna allow it to turn, and my thumb keeps it here. If I bring the thumb in, it's gonna go onto my wrist, onto my arm. It kind of walks up, goes to my face. I'm gonna leave it there, that thumb out, to do this slow motion. Now this is just palm down, and you're just doing this motion. It's kind of a wrist roll with your walking cane. Now none of these are for self-defense by themselves, but they will develop speed, strength, balance, a powerful grip, callus on your hands, better spatial awareness, timing and distance, proprioception, all the things that you need to be able to defend yourself well with your walking cane. They can also be done sitting in a chair. You're going side to side, front and back. You might have to edge out to the edge of your chair, especially if you're in a wheelchair. The wheels might get in the way, but just move forward if you can. If you can't, don't do it. We'll find another modification for you. When you come to the opposite side, open that hand, bring it around for a little bit, and then you're bringing it back. The goal is to go over and back, and then you're going to do palm up. And the question was, can you participate if you're 21? Absolutely. Cane self-defense is for anybody. Cane self-defense techniques can be used with a walking cane, a standard cane, even just a stick. You can pick up a long stick from the ground, jabbing, slashing, shoving, and in this case with the crook, raking. But we're gonna go over those as we warm up. The answer is yes. Anyone and everyone can do cane self-defense. Learn how to train with the cane now, you might use it later. Then, coming over and back from side to side, here to here. Sand Dude says Marine, Army, you can even be in the Coast Guard or the Air Force and the new Space Force. Cane self-defense is available for anybody and everybody. A lot of wounded warriors will pick up the cane and learn how to defend themselves because they're not done fighting yet. Going side to side, when you come to the opposite side, open that hand, the palm is facing the ground, and just bring it around the back of the hand, kind of like a wrist roll or a back of the hand roll, and then bring it back over. By doing this, you're engaging the core, you're gonna raise the heart rate, you're gonna lean out, you're gonna get stronger, faster, you're gonna build that hand strength, making all of your strikes much better. Over and back. And this is just simply a warm-up. Allow yourself to warm up, stay safe from injury during the workout. You get the blood flowing into the joints, all that plasma gets in there, oxygen gets in there, it starts to heal and strengthen everything. Everything gets stronger. Now, after that basic warm-up, I want you to step behind your cane, push your hips back, because all of the strikes with the cane are going to come off of the floor while you're standing. If you're sitting in a chair, sitting on a park bench, sitting on the bus, on a plane, you can still defend yourself with your walking cane. Instead of the power coming from the floor, from your feet, it's going to come from your bones, your sits bones, your bum. All of this exercise going down and up is going to build strength in the legs while it also improves core strength. You're going up and down, and if you need to go up and down just a tiny bit, do just a tiny bit. The point is to start to move in the direction that you want to go. You have to build strength, speed, power, balance, coordination. Don't skip the leg work. Do just a little bit. If you can only do a little bit, only do a little bit. If you can do a lot, do a lot. Now, we're going to go back to a turning move, kind of a twisting move. It's not the same as this combat cane spin. It's a different kind of combat cane spin. You're going to go to the outside and to the inside, making a figure eight with the tip of your walking cane. Cane self-defense techniques require a lot of flexibility in your wrists. Cane self-defense techniques require strength in your arms, the forearms, in the grip. You're going to get cane strength by doing this turning with your cane. Your cane self-defense techniques are going to be a lot stronger. You're going to learn how to defend yourself with a walking cane. You're going to be able to hit and not lose your cane when you do this type of strengthening and stretching exercise. After you do this for 30 seconds in one hand, put it back on the floor, put your hips back like you're sitting down. And again, if you need to, just tiny motions, just a slight bend in the knee. If you can, going down and up, using your arms to unweight your body. That means give your legs some assistance. You might have creaky knees, bad hips, doesn't matter what it is. A big belly, we all get a big belly as we get older. The way to fight against it, not all of us, you don't have to have a big belly. Here's the solution. Move the body up and down. Don't let age be an excuse. It's not, it's lifestyle. Bring it to the outside and the inside. Start to carve that sideways figure eight. Other hand's always up. Stomach up and in, abs tight. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. You're simply turning your hand like a butterfly going through this infinity sign, or this figure eight motion. Increasing flexibility in your wrist. And this is important. See, I gotta fix my watch band there. I broke the last one. I just got a new one last night. You have to close your hand and keep it closed. This is cheating. This is too easy. You're gonna lose your cane. You want your hand to be closed so that you can increase flexibility in a power position. With you holding your cane, you're gonna go outside to inside. Again, the other hand is up, guarding your head. Always fight with your cane in front of your body, and your other hand guarding your head. Don't let them hit you in the head and knock you out. You get knocked out, your operating system gets turned off, they'll do whatever they want. You won't be able to defend yourself or others. Always guard your head when you can. I'm going to show you how to do that with your cane today. But the other hand, just remember it always is up. Don't let it dangle down here in the dirt. So you're going side to side, in and out. Do that for 30 seconds. We've got a third set of these small hips back, pushing up and down, squatting motions. Start to feel your heart rate get up. Every set of these that you do is going to raise your heart rate 2 or 3 beats per minute. Your goal is get your heart rate up during the workout so that you start to burn more calories, more fat calories. Improve your cardiovascular conditioning so that you have endurance for the self-defense fight so you can last longer than the opponent. And again, push as little or as much as you can or as you want to with your arms to take the weight off of the legs. Start to get the legs in motion again. Start to heal the knees. Start to heal the ankles, the hips, whatever it is that is injured or you haven't used for a long time and now you don't walk right and it doesn't feel right. Start to work on it. Don't settle for being immobile. Don't settle for just losing all your flexibility. I was talking to somebody recently, they said, man, I was so flexible. When I was 19, I could do this kick like this. He said, I'm 46. I said, well, what have you done in the meantime, right? It's not a criticism. And it's not my truth. It's ultimate truth. It's universal truth. If I stopped doing the same things I did 20 years ago and I haven't done the stretches for 20 years. Why would I expect to be able to kick like that? I can't. You won't be able to, but you can get back to that. You can get back to that or better if you start to move now. Don't wait to move. Get moving right away. Let's talk about the very first kind of strike I want you to do for self-defense with your walking cane. Walking cane self-defense techniques are simple and basic. They have to be. If they're gonna work for you, if they're gonna work for everybody. Think about senior self-defense, right? There are a lot of really cool techniques where you twist and turn, joint lock and take somebody down, but the most successful self-defense techniques are the simplest and the most powerful. And the most simple and most powerful are also the most direct. So the shortest distance between the 2 points, straight line, we've heard that our whole lives. We're gonna use that in this first striking sequence. I'm gonna start with my weight on the cane in the crook facing behind me as if I'm walking or I was on the park bench or I'm at the restaurant, I'm at the cafe sitting outside and I need to stand up in order to address the threat. I'm gonna then bring my hand up, bringing the cane forward, putting the cane between me and you. Hello, Hank, it's good to see you today. Put the cane between me and you, and I'm gonna create distance between myself and the threat. Now this is the threat. That's his face, right there, right? That's his dirty, nasty, stinky, ugly face. And I'm sticking my cane here to interrupt his line of sight. I don't want him to easily see me, touch me, close the distance, anything. I wanna maintain the distance when I can. So the first step of cane self-defense is get into a better position. So from here, I put it between me and him. I'm in this better position, letting the hard wood, the cane is longer than the knife, the cane doesn't bleed, put this between me and him. I stick it in front of his face. Now he might grab it, and that's true. Someone says all the time, he might grab it. And if he does, you put your other hand on it and you just simply twist and push to the ground. If he grabs it like this, you put your hand here, twist, bring it straight up. One hand is at 12, one hand is at 6 on the old-fashioned clock. 12 and up, straight down, and that's gonna take care of it. I'll get somebody in here in the next couple weeks and we'll do some videos and I can show you. I'll make him the bad guy, I'll be the bad guy, and I'll show you just as simple as a turn and snap straight down. And that's gonna take care of it. That's gonna knock them off of your cane. So the cane's between me and you, shortest distance is that straight line. So I want you to learn first how to thrust. From here, in this position, put the cane between me and him, and I'm either gonna step forward, that's more aggressive self-defense, or I'm gonna step back. If he has a knife, I definitely wanna step back. Either way, I want to turn my body to make myself a smaller target. You're gonna turn your body either by stepping in and make yourself a smaller target, or step back and make yourself a smaller target. One foot is in front of the other foot. Now, ideally, your feet won't be in a straight line. They'll stay open a little bit, right? And never cross your feet or you're gonna trip yourself. But don't overthink it. Just step forward or step back, turning your shoulder, and whichever hand is in front between you and the threat should have the cane in it. Now I put this in there. See how that interrupts your line of sight? You've got to look around my cane. You've got to look around the cane to see me. You're not gonna punch my cane. The bad guy's not gonna cut my cane. He might grab it. If he does, grab that other hand on either this way or this way. Either way is not gonna matter. You can turn it the other way and push down. That's also going to work. Sometime between here and here, his hand is going to go like this. You twist and just shove. So between me and you, smaller target, the cane's here, simply thrust. Now, it's not a power move. It's not as strong as a bayonet attack or a rifle butt attack, which are both thrusting or shoving moves, right? Thrusting or jabbing moves. If I come in straight here or I come in straight here, those are both powerful because I have two hands on it. Here, I only have one hand on it at the start in this position, and I want you to practice your thrust. Now, even though it's not as strong as the other ones, look at what's happening. Right behind this piece of rubber is this long bar of oak, this Cane Masters self-defense cane. And from here, it's going to smash straight through. Hello, Sinsamet. He said his wife told him he had to stop acting like the Karate Kid today. She's probably talking about the one with Will Smith's son, not the one with Johnny, right? Or not Johnny, what was his name? The real Karate Kid, Ralph Macchio. How could I forget Ralph Macchio? Anyway, I don't know what you had to do to have her say that. So from here, this goes in, smashing the nose, taking the teeth out of the mouth, going in through the throat, sticking it in their eyeball. It doesn't have to be a power thrust. It just has to be stronger than their flesh, their nasty, dirty, stinky, ugly, yellow, whatever it is, right? I want you to visualize the threat. So when you start to train, get into a better position, look right in their ugly, nasty face, picture in your head a threat. You don't have to have a bag to hit. You don't have to have a stack of tires. If you do, that's great. You can thrust in the air. And by thrusting in the air, starting slow and then gradually increasing until at the end, you're thrusting as hard and as fast as you can. And you want to do this over and over for 30 seconds. Throw it in the other hand and do the same thing. Just get used to this motion. When you practice like this, and I'm just changing so you can see from the side. This is the threat. As you start to practice, increasing your speed, your power, I want in your head, I want you to think to yourself, nose, teeth, eyes, throat, solar plexus, right? You can hear when I do that. That's where you breathe. You hit that hard enough. And again, you don't have to have a power thrust. You just have to let the cane do the job. That's why I love these oak and hickory canes from Cane Masters, because the cane is going to do all the work for you. From here, your body's behind the cane. So if they come rushing in, they're going to run into that big piece of wood. Now that might move you back a little bit, but look what happens when my cane comes back. Now I'm going to put 2 hands on the cane, and the second thing I'm going to show you how to do, and I want you to practice, is this shoving motion with 2 hands on the cane. We're going back to the fact that this is a hard piece of oak or hickory. Maybe you have a metal cane. Maybe you have a Carex $10 cane that you got from Amazon or from the CVS pharmacy or wherever. Those also work. You can use any kind of cane, because now with 2 hands on it, this becomes a force multiplier. You are strong enough to defend yourself right now. I don't care how strong you are or how strong you don't feel you are. With this in your hand, you're going to let the wood, you're going to let the material, the cane, do the work. Again, going against the teeth. This is stronger than the teeth, stronger than the fleshy nose, stronger than their eyes, especially if they wear glasses. Smash their glasses for self-defense. Stronger than their throat, even stronger than their chest. And here, no question, you hit them right in there, that knocks their wind out. So the second move is this shoving. And think about, get out of my face, right? Think about nose, their throat. To make it super strong, bring it in to the chest. Since Amit says he has training videos coming this week, starting with BJJ. If you guys have not gone to Sensei Amit's channel, and Sensei Amit and I we don't give each other money, do we? Sensei Amit, no. But go to his channel. He has some of the best interviews of martial artists. Like, I don't know how many, but a lot. And he's starting with training videos. His school's been shut down since last March. I think finally you're able to get back out and train. I think that's why you have the training videos. That's my assumption. He's in Ireland. COVID shut them down more than anywhere else. COVID didn't do it, the government did it. But anyway, right? So go follow Sensei Amit if you haven't done it. He's got some training videos coming out this week. I love to spread and share the love. Spread the news, share the love. But back to this, 2 hands on the cane, force multiplier, hard piece of material, metal, oak, hickory. If you look at the links below, you can see you can get one of these made in hickory if you go to that first link. But smash that right in to the teeth, into the nose, into the throat, wherever you can hit them. That's the second strike. So remember I said striking, I want you to practice striking combinations. So put it down like you're walking with it, get into a better position, think nose, that starts to push you back, that comes right into the other hand. See how that naturally, as you pull this back, you just turn it into this hand. Now you're ready for that second strike. The third kind of strike from here has both hands on it. And I want you to think of boxing them in the ears. Now, if we were going hand to hand, empty hand, right? We don't have any weapons to defend ourselves with other than this and this. I'm going to show you how to throw elbows to the head. Elbows to the head, elbows up under the chin and into the solar plexus. A lot of people forget that you can come straight in through the middle, right? So we have this way, we have this way. There are many other ways to elbow. They're all correct. But for me, again, I go back to super simple. Keep it simple. Your hands are here. You're in that protected position. You have to. Now, what happens if someone grabs you by the hands? all of a sudden they have the advantage and you're fighting them until you close one hand over the other. See, from the pinky to this. And this is for, especially if you're not as strong as you used to be, you're in a chair, you have some disability, you have some challenge. This is how you get your strength back. You're gonna use a force multiplier. So you're strong here. When you close, this is my right hand, my left hand comes over and just grabs it. Now, when I strike with those elbows, I've created a bar just like this bar, and I have leverage now. And you're not gonna be able to stop me from driving these toward your face. I might not hit you, but you're gonna back up, because if you don't, I am gonna hit you. I can take this and go straight in. So you can practice this. Open hand, unarmed, they knock the cane out of your hand, they grab your wrists, grab your own, boom, right to the throat. That'll move them, whether you hit them or not, that's gonna move them. I promise you, you're strong here, but then just immediately, 2 or 3 or 4 of these, and then drive that to the throat, or drive that, drop your levels, bend your knees and drive it into the body. You might be lower than them anyway. Same principle's true here. I'm gonna start in this position. I'm gonna thrust to the face. That comes back, they're closing the distance, 2 hands right to the face. They come back in, maybe they put their hands here, they put their hands here, and I'm gonna just start punching right to the head. Boxing them with this crook or this big, think of this as a big fist. This big fist, hammer, knuckle, and then on this side, look at that tooth. That tooth I'm later gonna use to rake across the face, across the body, and remove some flesh, remove some eyesight, some ability to breathe, some teeth. I'm gonna remove some stuff with this for self-defense. But first, you're gonna box them here. Then that moves them back to the face and then gives you that opening, and you're gonna drop straight down and you're going right through the middle. Remember, we wanna keep it simple. Cane self-defense has to work. If you are disabled, if you're learning cane self-defense because you're senior cave, I keep saying cave, senior cane self-defense, whatever it is, wounded warrior cane self-defense, women cane self-defense, men cane self-defense, 21-year-old person cane self-defense, you have no seemingly disabilities, doesn't matter. Everybody and anyone is allowed to carry one of these. That's why it's so effective. You might just live in a neighborhood that's no longer safe because of whatever. Now, you carry one of these, you don't necessarily use it for mobility, although it feels good. Sometimes you're a little tired, your knee hurts. Whose knee and hip and neck doesn't hurt from time to time, right? Then you have to get yourself in a better position. Here comes the threat into the eyes, pulling it back. I'm gonna close the distance. He's closing the distance, going in here, punching to the face, to the head, and then drop down and create distance again, striking, shoving them back, coming in with the other side. They're both effective. From here, I'm going to use my crook now, and that's where the raking comes across. Now, so far, I've had both hands on it with all the strikes except the first one. So let's review real quick, and we're going to talk about other ways to defend yourself with a walking cane. From here, thrust, comes back in, shove, boxing. Think about this big tooth and break it at an angle across or straight across. Or you can bring it from the other side, and instead of the rake, use it to break that jaw, to knock their eyes. Hit them here, knock them out. They're unconscious, let the cops come and scoop them up. But you can now, with one hand, you can come this way or this way or this way. Raking across with that tooth or smashing with that big hammer, that big knuckle right there. So this is one striking combination that I'd like you to practice. I'm gonna adjust the angle, camera just a little bit, hold on. Always like to give fair warning before I do that. Don't make you nauseous. You put your weight on the cane, you get in a better position, thrust, shove, box, strike, and then rake. Put it in the other hand, better position, thrust, shove, box, drive them straight back, right into the solar plexus, or maybe in the throat or in the face, and then rake with that big hook coming across the face. Or rake and then come back in and just drive all the teeth for self-defense straight down their throat. From here, one more time. So I want you to go side to side, put your weight on it. And again, you can do all these sitting. You can do all these sitting, and the cane gives you reach. The cane allows you to create distance between you and the person who's trying to jump on top of you. Stick this in their face, stick it in the solar plexus, stick it in their groin. Maybe you're not going to be able to reach the face. The groin makes more sense, which brings us to the principles of cane self-defense. Number one, you have to pay attention to what's happening around you. I think I said one was get in a better position. That's actually two. My mistake. I make mistakes. We all make mistakes, right? From here, better position, thrust, shove, box, thrust, rake. Number two, or other side. Just go back and forth and do this for 30 seconds to 2 minutes. From here, better position. That's number two, better position. Thrust, shove, box. Almost forgot that one. Thrust, rake. Now, that's just one combination. You can practice that over and over again. That will also improve your overall strength, health, mobility, flexibility, endurance, muscle strength, power, everything. Remember, the first thing that you have to do in cane self-defense is pay attention to what's happening around you. So number one, situational awareness. Number two, get in a better position. Number three, ask yourself with a breath. Always take a breath to clear and focus, even when you have to force it sometimes, right? Take a breath. What can I remove or destroy? And that's why I want you to think in terms of eyesight, nose, or ability to breathe temporarily, teeth, permanently through the throat for self-defense. Solar plexus, they can't stand up or breathe. Right in here, between the belly button and the privates, right through that thin fascia of muscle. Put them on the ground and give them a hernia for self-defense. But that's how you have to think in terms of what can I remove or destroy? It's violence. Violence against violence for self-defense. It's not martial arts per se. It's not a competitive event. It's not kind and fluffy and fuzzy and taking all the rough edges off. It's nasty and disgusting and dirty. It's self-defense. And you're not going to fight fair. You're going to fight to finish. Not fair, not kind, not sweet, not whatever. You're going to go to smash through the knees, smash through the joints. We're going to go over that in the next set of strikes. So from here, turn that cane around, get the crook facing out. This, ergonomically speaking, if you don't know what ergonomically means, go Google it, right? It just means it's better for your body. Probably means something more than that, but let's call it that. So ergonomically speaking, I turn the crook out, facing you. I can lean on it better, right? And from here, I bring it up between his legs. Hard and as fast as you can for self-defense. That's a very fast, explosive move. Now, situational awareness is number one. Let's say you had it, but somehow they jumped out of the bushes. You didn't see them until the last second. Now, it's you or them. You have to immediately respond. Notice I didn't say react. If you train, you can respond. If you prepare yourself through this kind of training daily, you can always respond to the threat because you visualized it in your head. That's why I want you to think about this. What would it look like if you brought this tip, maybe this much, of this oak cane master self-defense cane at 190,000 miles an hour, however fast that is. I don't know how fast it is, but I'll tell you it's fast, right? You bring that up between their legs, and you lift them off the ground just a little bit for self-defense. How would that make them look? Well, how would they respond, right? What would it look like as they went into this position instinctively to try to protect themselves? Whether you smashed something for self-defense or not, you probably will. And then what does it look like? That's the first motion. They jump out of the bush, they're closing the distance. You don't have time to yell help, back off. You just bring it straight up and in. From here, there's that other hand. Now, in this position, I'm thrusting again, and I want that straight line. I'm pushing with this palm. I have this nice sturdy crook holding here. This hand is here, palm down, palm going through his spine. I want to push through his soul for self-defense. Metaphorically speaking, right? From here, you're going to find that when you move your body by stepping with both feet, let's show the feet. Hold on. I need a new camera rig. I busted this thing. It's barely hanging on. Let's see if we can do this without breaking the camera. If we do, that'll be the end of the live stream. But I come up here, right to his groin, picks him up off of his heels, or, gets him on his toe. And then from here, that's it. Front foot, back foot. But both feet. If I just do one foot, I'm too low. It takes me too long to move from this position. If you're not in great shape, don't do a split. 1, 2. 1, 2, that's it. That 1, 2 motion, coming back up, that 1, 2 motion, put your entire body weight behind this hard Oak Masters, or Cane Masters Oak Dojo training cane, and right through there. And that all goes into anywhere in that center line of his body for self-defense. This is self-defense. I'm going to lift him off the ground, hopefully put him in serious pain for self-defense. I want to use violence right here. I pull here, step in, and simply drive. And if you can't push your hands, you won't need to. If you can, that's going to be an even harder strike. But just simply by moving your feet, you're going to knock them back, creating more distance, staying safe. From this position here, I'm going to slide back, and I'm just going to bring my cane over and down, just smashing and raking everything I can. So this is a 3-strike combination using your cane with the crook facing forward. You're here in an ergonomically healthier position, a better, stronger position for you. The cane, the crook, facing out, facing you, facing the threat. It comes up between the legs, pulls back, thrust through the middle, and then just over. See how my hand is here? This is a natural position for you. You're just allowing this to come down, allowing this to come down. So from here, my weight is on it. I come up through the middle, I thrust here, and I hopefully finish the fight with that hard raking, smashing motion, just hitting anything and everything I can, coming straight down on top of their head. It's a vertical strike, but it's vertical going toward the ground. Then, put it in the other hand, lean on it, snatch them up between the legs, picture it, right? Always think groin. And it's not really groin, it's private parts, right? Or call it whatever you want. While you're doing your training, it's up to you. Between the legs, through the solar plexus, through the eye, removing for self-defense. Their ability to see you out of that eye, because now it's hanging down here on the other side of their cheek for self-defense. It's a little nasty, but this is self-defense. From here, I'm leaning, but I want you to picture it. What happens when you bring this up fast between the legs? Just practice that. Fast, fast, and then intense. Either coming down at that angle, down on top. Either way you do it, you're going to be very strong in this motion here, this chopping down motion. It's like chopping down a tree. Just an ugly, nasty tree that wouldn't leave you alone. Was trying to take something from you, like your life or your dignity, or the lives and dignity of the people you care about. Through the groin, through the middle, straight down on top. Just using what you have naturally and a force multiplier. The self-defense cane is the force multiplier. All right, now the next one. We're going back to this position with the crook facing behind me. I'm going to get back into my better position. I'm paying attention, I have situational awareness. I see he's across the street. I know I have to go this way. He's crossing, I don't have a choice. He's getting too close. I say, hey, you're getting too close, back up. Cane's between me and him. I'm going to always start with this basic, simple thrust. From here, I'm going to keep it in one hand, though. I'm going to bring it back to the same shoulder. And then I'm going to strike. And now you're going to ask yourself, are you going for the temple to turn off their operating system, to try to knock them out? You don't know if they got a knife or not. Maybe you can hit them there. You can stop them. The neck, you compress the flesh there fast enough. You hit those nerves. The brain flushes all the blood out. Boom. They drop like a sack of potatoes, like Irish potatoes. I was going to go get into Irish famine, but let's not do that. Let's talk instead about the shillelagh. We're going to do a shillelagh. Shillelagh attack. So from here, better position, thrust from the shoulder, and then take out something along this line with this angular strike. Temple, jaw, neck, shoulder. Go for joints. Joints are going to break. Maybe it's that knee. Maybe it's a vicious dog off the chain running around, or a couple of them. And you have to be here, and the first thrust is here, and then the second one's here. But why do you bring it from the shoulder? It's because you want to fight from behind your cane, fight from behind your sticks. Always keep this in front. If you bring it up here, you're probably going to not hit them, or it's going to be weak. It's going to be a wasted strike. Or you're going to wrap, they're going to close that distance, you're going to wrap around the body. You're not even going to make any contact. Good afternoon, Raj. It's good to see you. From here, you're in a better position. Thrust from the shoulder straight through. Bring it to the other shoulder and do another one on the other side of their body. That's simple. I want that as your third practice today. From here, get in your better position, either standing forward or back. Thrust from the shoulder. It's got to be from the shoulder. If I'm up here, they jump in, I can't hit them. If I'm here, they jump in, I can still hit them. You're still going to be able to defend yourself if you keep it between you and the threat, right? So come from your shoulder from all your strikes. From here, all these angular strikes. From here, shoulder, shoulder, top of the head. Finish with that top of the head strike down on top. I'm going to come right here. I'm going to come and thrust from the shoulder to the other shoulder. Thank you so much for that $5 donation. And see, oh, Raj, that's right. Hey, oh, Naj, it's good to see you. Coming from here, it's my old eyes. From here to here. I was thinking about Naj the other day on another video we were talking about. I think it was nunchucks. From here straight in, from the shoulder, and then see how I'm still bringing it to the shoulder, down on top. That vertical strike, again, down through the middle. I want to be in this position, create distance, break something, knock him out. Let the cops come and pick him up, but you don't have to worry if he has a knife. You're going to try to immediately turn off the operating system. Put it in the other hand. Get in that better position. Thrust from the same shoulder, angle down. From the other shoulder, angle down. From the first shoulder, down on top of the head. Switch hands. The ready position. Thrust, shoulder, shoulder, top of the head. From the other position, get in a better position. Thrust to the eyes. Take away their eyesight. And then think shoulder, their shoulder. Think their knee. Think their forehead. Knock them out. Turn the brain. Put self-defense, right? Like we keep saying. This is not pretty. It's self-defense. Other hand, get in the better position. Thrust, shoulder, shoulder, down on top of the head. Better position. Now in your head, visualize as you go through these motions, and you've done them over and over, and you can now do them without too much effort. Slow it down again, and in your head think eyes, or eyesight, or throat, or solar plexus, their ability to stand. So think eyes, and then think temple, think ribs, think forehead, and practice that way. And again, if you don't have a bag to hit on, do it in the air. From here, eyes, temple, shoulder. Maybe I'm going to break that shoulder, and then forehead. Or maybe they're reaching out to stab you with a knife or grab you or punch you, and you think wrist. And you're just going to break, smash everything in there. Doesn't matter what you hit. You're going to break something with a cane master's cane. With these oak canes or hickory canes, there's no way to go wrong. So we have to do it like that. Peter Mueller says, hi, Matt. How you doing, Peter? Peter's in Germany. It's good to see you, Peter. I think, Naj, you're down in Miami, right? Naj is in Miami. So we're all over the world. We're global. This is the global virtual dojo, and we're all training together today. I really appreciate you guys training with me. I've got one more that I want you to see, and that's using this big fist, this big knuckle. From here, I go back into my ergonomically more correct position. So the crook is facing out. I know from here I can snap it up between their legs really fast, but I'm going to pop it up in this position, like I'm some kind of fancy magician or something, right? Yes, Naj says yes, Miami. From this position, I have this big fist, this big knuckle, this big hammer. I'm going to come straight in. I'm thrusting. Like every other move, I'm coming straight in first. I want to immediately address the fact that they can close the distance. I don't know if they've got a knife or not. I want to interrupt whatever their pattern of thought is, whatever their habits are that they've done. They've intimidated so many other people. They're used to seeing other people cower. I'm saying back up. Don't come any closer, and then I have to immediately respond. Remember, prepare or panic. You're training now so you can be prepared so you don't have to panic, so you don't have to perish. From here, thrusting straight in, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna box the ear with this hook punch. Smashing the ear, I'm gonna come back the other way with this raking motion, straight across the face. Now this is your daily shillelagh. If you had a shillelagh, an Irish fighting stick, an Irish walking stick, and Sensei has promised me he's gonna start to, he's in Ireland, he knows more about it than I do by 1,000%. He's gonna start showing you more authentic shillelagh techniques on his site. He said he has some BJJ tutorials coming up this week. After that, I'm sure we're getting into the Irish stick fighting. Coming straight in, boxing, and that's the Irish stick. It's a little bit shorter than this, but on one side is a hammer. There's a big knot of wood or however it's made. It's a hammer there. And then when you Irish stick fight, this is a basic technique, but thrusting, jabbing, hitting with that big knuckle, that's a basic technique. So from here, you're in this better position, go straight in, immediate, direct, and explosive, right? Immediate, direct, and explosive, fast as you can. Knock them back, create some distance, come across, hit the temple, hit the jaw, hit that neck, hit them in the ribs, but then come back the other side and rake it back, coming the other way through. Remove their eyesight. Remove their eyes, they can't see, right? And again, self-defense. Put it in the other hand, get in that better position. Practice saying, back up, stop. And don't say stop, please. And don't say, I don't feel comfortable. They know that. That's why they're doing it, right? It's like when we tell the little kid, tell him how it makes you feel. Well, he knows how it makes you feel. That's why he's doing it. He's a bully. He's a jerk. He's doing it to hurt your feelings. He doesn't like you. He doesn't like you. Get over that and then accept the fact he doesn't like you. But that's liberating because that means you don't have to like him. And so this bully, this thug, this street tough is coming up. And I'm like, back up, you're too close. And maybe there are 2 or 3 of them. So now I really have to respond fast and take care of this guy fast. I'm going to come straight in. I'm going to hook here. And I'm going to rake on the other side. If at any point they grab your cane, put your other hand on it, turn and push. Turn and push. Anywhere they grab your cane, put your other hand on it, turn and push. If they grab it here, turn and push. If they grab it here, turn and push. Practice that. You have to practice it or you won't be able to do it. Prepare or panic. Put in the other hand, crook facing out, ergonomically correct. Walking down the street, here he comes, he's closing the distance. Hey, you're too close. Maybe you step back on one foot, make yourself a smaller target. He starts to accelerate his move and you go straight in, hook to the head, rake against the temple, the eye, the jaw, pull the teeth, literally pull the teeth out of his face for self-defense. Put your weight on the other side, pop it up, thrust, hook, rake. If they grab it, grab, pull, smash, coming straight down, breaking anything and everything in your way. If they're holding onto your cane and you turn, that puts their hand either in this position or in this position. If their hand is in this position and you push the top down, that breaks their grip. See how that starts to pull it out? And if you happen to smash their head on the way down, perfect. You turn it in the other direction, that's a joint lock. You can't go past that, that hurts. But you're going to bring this down here, and I mean, that just doing it myself, that hurts. That's a good stretch until you go too far. But you're smashing everything down, either here or here. But remember, the basic rule is 12 o'clock on the circular clock, midnight, and 6 in the afternoon, or 6 in the evening. But it's 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock. Not this, but just this, and just this. Down, whichever hand is up, goes down. Whichever hand's up, goes down. This position, you're very strong. Force multiplier, 2 hands on it, you become extremely strong. And you say, but he has 2 hands on it too. Doesn't matter. This is your cane. You're turning here and you're coming down here. He might not know, probably doesn't know how to do that. And he's either going to try to snap it off. We talked about this the other day with my in-person students. I went through everyone. I said, what's your biggest fear? If someone grabs your cane, how do you think they're going to try to take it from you? And they all said, probably try to pull it. And none of them, and I hadn't, prepared them or anything. And I didn't say, well, do you think anybody would try to wrench it out of your hands like this? And we tried it with each other, and they're like, no, that doesn't make any sense, because that's not a power move. If your hands are on, even if they're really strong, it doesn't feel like they're going to wrench it. It feels like they're going to try to do one of these and snatch it out. So as they're doing one of these to snatch it out, you turn and smash straight down on top of the head. Lights out, cops come and scoop them up. That's the whole goal. Now, one final exercise. This is your homework. If you have this band, any band like this, it doesn't have to be this one. This one's kind of strong. Start light. I always say start as light as you can. If you need a set of bands, you can check on the link below. There's some links down there, and you can see what bands cost. But most people have these or have access to them, or a lot of people do. Shouldn't say most. But you're going to start. See how that goes around my back and above my shoulders, or below my shoulders, above my elbow, on my upper arm. If you're like this, pull your arm in and get it out there. There we go. Get it like that. Okay, however you can get there. And if this is as far as you can go this far. Right? Wherever you are, wherever you're starting from, that's where you should be. Let me say that again. Wherever you're starting from, you're supposed to be there. And if you're not where you think you should be, get over your ego and say, okay, I'm not where I thought I would be. This is where I am. And look around and say, this is it. And be honest with yourself, because then you can do whatever you want. You'll move in the direction you want to go. But don't be frustrated and mad at yourself. That's all ego. That's all another excuse, another way to get out of doing it. So allow yourself to not be good at it. Put your hands here, and I want you to do standing push-ups. All I'm doing is from this position, pushing out. Why? Because I want you to be way stronger than you are right now. Stronger and more explosive. When that guy comes forward and you shove that thing into his face, I want that to be the end of the fight, if possible, right? We're not going to try to go 10, 15 rounds with a bad guy. We can knock him out with one strike, right? Ask Hank. Hank's an old Marine. One shot, one kill. That's our goal. That's why Marines spend so much time on the rifle range. That's why in all of these different combats and war, whether it's right or wrong, American Marines and like Army Special Forces, Rangers, stuff like that, they're more accurate, way more accurate than the enemy. And accuracy really counts. You can stop them with one shot. That way you're not just spraying and praying. Don't spray and pray. We're going to aim our shot. And when you take that shot, hopefully, that's going to be the end of it. Now this is starting to burn. I want you to do this for 30 seconds at a time. After 30 seconds, you can rest. And then, especially if it didn't feel that comfortable because it was kind of hard and it was out of your comfort zone, I want you to go again and do another 30 seconds in that same position. Just pushing, holding at the end, lock those arms out. Yeah, this is resistance training. Matthew asks, is this resistance training? The answer is yes. A lot of the things that you do with this is resistance training. When you're doing those small squats, that's resistance training. When you're swinging through the air because it's a weighted instrument in your hand, that also is resistance training. It's not a lot of resistance, but it is. If you start to hit a bag, that's resistance training. This is old-fashioned resistance training, like push-ups or bench presses in the gym. And this is going to lean your body out faster and make you younger and healthy. And it's not for looks. It's to defend ourselves. After you do that for a second set for 30 seconds, you can rest. If you can do a third set, this next set I want you to push down. And when you push down, you're starting to engage the muscle at the bottom of your pectoral muscle, the fibers down here. That's going to give you strength in that position, pushing yourself up, striking down. You're also going to be exercising. All of this is also really working your tricep muscles, because the pectoral muscles, chest muscles really just do this. They pull across. And when you push out, you're doing some of that, but you're really doing a lot of triceps. So you're getting really strong in all your strikes. So we're going down, and then the last set, and if you can do another set, push up. But don't do any less than 30 seconds. Do 30 seconds at a time, add sets. Put it under your bum, push your hips way back, and then curl and squeeze at the top of the motion. And you're going to do this for 30 seconds. This is for that knockout punch. This is to pull and snatch it back. This is exercising the biceps, but also the back muscles. All of it is engaging your core. If you can do this for 30 seconds, the next set, bring your hands on the inside, palms up, elbows close to the body, and do another set. By changing your hand position, you're going to be working on all the different parts of your upper arm strength. All the different parts of that bicep muscle and the brachialis and all that other stuff that's in there. Palm facing down, the third set, you're going to be pulling up this time, really working on this top part of this muscle, which is powerful grip. So they can't take your cane from your hand. So hands here, and again, elbows tucked in to the body, pulling, squeezing at the top of the motion, and your hips are just pushed back slightly. Now another way to do that, if that's too hard to get under there, or your legs are not as strong, is just anchor it on the floor, either by stepping on it or put it under something, and do all the exercises like this, where the band is just looped over once, and then it's on the back. You can also put it here, pull it all the way up, and press, up and press. That's a little bit more advanced, but if you're in great shape and you're ready for that, add that. That's just I wanted to add a couple things this workout if you've been doing this with me for a while and you needed to go to a new level. So do those exercises. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thank you again for that donation, Naj. I'll see you guys in a little bit. We'll be doing another one of these either later today or early tomorrow morning. See you guys then.